Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys news: Dallas draft strategy may involve making some trades. Here's how the Cowboys may change their draft position on draft night. The areas of need have been well documented. The Dallas Cowboys need obvious help at left tackle, center, running back, linebacker, and defensive tackle. An extremely quiet free agency period has put Dallas in a spot where it must have a strong draft. And that begins with the 24th pick next week. Will the Cowboys draft at that spot? Will they see a player worth trading up for? Will they decide the best move is to trade back? Let's break down the likelihood of each scenario. 1% might even be too high for a move that hasn't happened for the Cowboys since 2012, when they traded their first, number 14, and second round, number 45, picks to the Rams in exchange for the sixth pick, which Dallas used to select cornerback Morris Claiborne. Dallas also traded up 3 spots in 2010 to draft wide receiver Dez Bryant 24th. Another factor is just how conservative the Cowboys have been in their decision-making for the better part of the last decade. Moving up just seems too bold for the way they've been doing business. Trade down, 33% chance. The only reason this number isn't higher is because they have to have a partner. And who that potential partner could be might not even be known until they are on the clock. Moving back would make a lot of sense. The Cowboys need picks. They are already without a 4th-round selection because of the trade for quarterback Trey Lance. Their 5th-round pick is one of the last 3 in the round. So, if Dallas drafted with just the picks it currently owns, there would be 87 selections between its 3rd and 5th-round picks. It's hard to believe the Cowboys will sit there and not make a pick while 87 players go off the board. Stephen Jones' smug ineptitude summarized in 6 paragraphs. Jones' point was that the Cowboys are not exactly cheap, that they'd spend max money year in and year out. He also pointed to their already stacked roster, which was good enough to win the division with a 12-5 record last season. And he indicated they weren't active in free agency because they're saving their money and salary cap space as they're looking towards signing our own guys. The Cowboys have 3 core players looking for contract extensions: quarterback Dak Prescott, receiver CeeDee Lamb, and linebacker Micah Parsons. Prescott and Lamb, in fact, are entering the final year of their deals, which use up $73.1 million in salary cap space, a whopping 28.6% of the Cowboys' cap for 2024. Yet the Cowboys have not re-signed any of them. The cost would obviously have been high. There's no doubt that all 3 players want to be among the highest paid at their positions. But even if the Cowboys had granted their wish, those mega extensions would have almost certainly lowered their cap hits in 2024, especially for Prescott, whose cap number is a ridiculous $55.1 million, and Lamb, $17.9 million. That savings could have allowed them to keep center Tyler Biadasz, who signed with the Washington Commanders, left tackle Tyron Smith, New York Jets, running back Tony Pollard, Tennessee Titans, or edge rusher Dorrance Armstrong, Commanders. Or at least the extra cap space would have allowed them to replace the players they lost. What the Eagles are doing with the salary cap is not magic, said one NFL executive. They're better than anyone at locking up their key players early. It looks expensive at first, but it almost always leads to financial flexibility later. They end up having less holes to fill and more money to fill them with. When you don't do that, you're stuck with the bloated back ends of contracts. That's where the Cowboys are with Dak and with Lamb. I'm really surprised they didn't fix that before free agency started. Dallas adds depth in the running back room nearly a week before the NFL draft. The Cowboys have added both depth and experience at running back. The Cowboys have signed Royce Freeman, a 6-year veteran who has been with 4 different teams, including the Rams in 2023. A 3rd-round pick in 2018 of the Broncos, Freeman spent 3 years in Denver, followed by stops with the Panthers, Texans, and Rams. Freeman has spent the majority of his career as a backup and role player, with just 9 career starts in 79 games played. Freeman rushed for 319 yards last season in LA, which was his most since 2019 and the third highest of his career. Adding Freeman, who has 471 rush attempts, makes him the most experienced back on the Cowboys by far. Rico Dowdle, 96, is the only back with significant snaps. Other backs on the roster include Deuce Vaughn, Snoop Conner, Malik Davis, and Hunter Luepke. This move won't likely change the Cowboys' draft strategy next week, as running back still seems to be one of the top priorities, especially after they lost starter Tony Pollard in free agency last month to Tennessee. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones offering Kentucky recruits double pay to come to Arkansas. While Jerry Jones should spend his time trying to figure out how to help the underperforming Dallas Cowboys, he is instead doing his best to lure Kentucky Wildcats recruits to Arkansas. Jones was the co-captain at Arkansas and was instrumental in that team's 1964 national championship team. He's also from Arkansas and the owner of one of the most valued football franchises in the country. That said, the arrival of John Calipari in Fayetteville instantly sent most of Kentucky's top recruits back to the market. Now, Jones is hoping to get them to Arkansas with the new coach, according to Trilly Donovan. The Cats had one of the best incoming recruiting classes prior to the exodus of Calipari. While Calipari leaving did stun some, it seemed like it was only a matter of time after his early NCAA tournament exits in recent years. Calipari's high-profile teams with elite recruits had continually underperformed when the lights were the brightest. It was time for a change, but with it, the Cat lost many top-tier recruits, including Carter Knox, Jaden Quaintance, and Boogie Fland. Now, many of those may not follow Calipari to Lexington, but Jones' offer may be hard for them to turn down. Kentucky does still have native and 4-star guard Travis Perry set to join the roster, and there is still some hope that projected lottery pick Reed Sheppard will return to Lexington, though that seems highly unlikely. Mark Pope has his work cut out, especially on the recruiting trail. Trading down may be the Cowboys' best option in the first round. We are just a week away from the 2024 NFL Draft kicking off, and the Cowboys have held true to their plans to not make any sweeping moves in free agency. The closest they've come to filling a hole on the roster is the singing of Eric Kendricks at linebacker. Jerry Jones has vaguely implied that Tyler Smith will move to left tackle from the guard spot where he just earned All-Pro honors. Even then, the Cowboys fill one hole but open another at left guard. That comes alongside the center spot, left vacant with Tyler Biadasz signing with the Commanders. Beyond the offensive line, the Cowboys are still in the market for a running back, another linebacker, and a defensive tackle. They're also in need of added depth at the edge rushing spots and at receiver, while cornerback could also be a sneaky need. There is also the issue of the quarterback position's future so long as Dak Prescott goes without a contract extension. With only 7 draft picks this year, and only 3 of them in the top 150, the Cowboys would need a miraculous stroke of luck to fill all these holes through the draft. The odds of finding 7 key contributors with 7 draft picks are extremely low. Even the first-round pick, at 24th overall, is no guarantee of instant success. Obviously, there are a lot of nuances to grading a player's contributions, and just looking at how many games were started as a rookie doesn't paint the full picture. But the Cowboys pretty much need their first-rounder to be a reliable starter in 2024. In looking at the last 10 picks at this spot, it's a mixed bag of results. Only 2 players started every game as a rookie, and one was Tyler Smith. The other was Najee Harris, a running back that was drafted with the express intention of making him the workhorse back in the Steelers' offense. The same goes for Josh Jacobs, who had the second most games started as a rookie. Behind him, DJ Moore started 10 games for the Panthers and turned out to be a top 10 receiver in the league. However, 6 of these players started less than half the season as a rookie, with 3 of them never even logging a start in their rookie year. Additionally, 3 of these players are no longer in the league, which isn't the kind of timeline you want in a first-round pick. All of this is to drive home the point that the Cowboys aren't guaranteed to land an impact player in the first round, much less with any of their other draft picks. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Tyler Smith? Leave your opinion in the comments.